Book. May as well do a little journaling. Write down your intention for the day.
Oh, they're not a part of this interview. It's just me and you.
Okay, okay, bye.
Katie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Okay, I'm great. So, welcome to another episode of Ask Infinity. As per usual, I am your host, Jordan Lindell. I'll be taking care of the ask. And today's Infinity is Katie Christie. You're the first person to actually pose for the camera.
Oh, okay.
Katie, how are you? Who are you? Give us a little bit of insight into who you are and what you do to start this off.
Sounds great, thank you. So I'm Katie of Soul Feast Katie, and I'm a holistic healer and nutritionist, and I really love to feel as good as possible and help you also feel amazing and cook great food and take good care of your body, take good care of the earth, and enjoy life.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very broad description. Like, can you walk us through like a day in the life of Katie Christie? Like, what do you do on the average day? Like, what does it mean? Because that's a lot of holistic words and phrases.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
So when I wake up in the morning, I write down my dreams because I set intention the night before to receive whatever messages I need or insights on things. I write it down. I follow it with a little bit of journaling because, you may as well. You're sitting there with your notebook. May as well do a little journaling. Write down your intention for the day.
Oh, they're not a part of this interview. It's just me and you.
Okay, okay, bye. Never mind. I was
trying to be nice. No, that's just a fly on the wall. That's all it is. It's me and you.
Okay, sounds great. So yeah, for sure. I'll give you my full attention now. So I then follow it with some meditation, and I do oil pulling and clean my mouth, and I love my backyard. I do qigong and working out in the backyard, go for a run near the forest nearby. Yeah, just whatever movement I feel that day. If I want to do some yoga, if I want to do some cardio, tai chi, qigong, dance. So yeah, get the energy moving and grooving, and shower and start the day, make something delicious.
Yeah, you know what? I've been wondering. It's been a while since we connected. What's your breakfast regimen like now? Like, what do you have for breakfast?
Yeah, so for breakfast, let's see. So in the warmer months, I was feeling more like make nice oatmeals, but make it creative and put different elixirs in there. Sometimes put some chopped fruit if I'm feeling. I also like liquid breakfast because it's easy to digest and it just, the nutrients go straight into you. So I'll make an elixir or a smoothie. This morning I had a protein smoothie because I did a big workout. So yeah, it really varies based on how I'm feeling. Some fruit, just breaking the fast with some light fruit is nice as well.
So are you vegan?
I'm not fully vegan. I do eat mostly plant-based because I feel best on that. But if I do find that I, feel that a little bit of fish or a little bit of chicken, I'll have it once every few weeks or months, or eggs, but not so often.
So this is something that I really want to ask you because there's so much confusion around it. Like, there's different people saying different things, and I think that you'll be able to provide some clarity. So a lot of people say that, going vegan is the ultimate lifestyle / food lifestyle, I should say. What do you feel like is the most optimal lifestyle in regards to food?
Right. So maybe it is for them because that's their truth and it works for them, which is amazing. But we're all unique and different. So we all have something different that our body needs. Some of us are thriving being vegan. Some of us do need a little bit of animal products. For me personally, I was vegan and it was great, in the beginning for the first couple of years or so, but after a while my body was really calling out for some of those foods, and you know, I had some resistance to eat them because I also was, you know, believing that vegan was, like, you know, the best way to do it. I mean, I want to create a peaceful world. I don't want to contribute to suffering or kill more animals than necessarily. Like, I genuinely care about the planet and making a good impact. But I literally was kind of dying inside. So it's like, okay, I need to find some balance here. And I also had a lot of, you know, judgment about it. So in actually eating those animal products, I found that I was able to release some of my judgment and just be more well-rounded, so that I can help people that are vegan, and I can also help people that are, you know, maybe carnivores. Like, I can just help whoever and resonate and relate with more people.
Yeah, I'm guessing that it opens you up to a bigger crowd of people.
Yeah.
And it makes you more relatable, like you were saying.
For sure.
It's kind of hard to relate to someone if you're, you know, in such an opposing viewpoint on food, which is cool, because I think that, you know, the vegan lifestyle has kind of been blown out of proportion, and it's become almost like a cultural movement on its own. Like, how do I say this? It's become popularized.
Yeah.
It's so hipster now. It's not even like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people go to vegan restaurants because it's cool, not because it's a lifestyle. And so I really appreciate what you said there, because for me, it's about self-awareness.
Yeah.
And if you're going to eat something, be self-aware about how it feels, what it's doing to your body, and you know, build a diet that way. To me, that's holistic, versus just saying I'm going to be vegan just because. You know, it's people are so used to, like, you know, just looking for whatever the right answer is, and then going, okay, I'm gonna do that because it's the right answer. But that's not how life works.
No.
You know, you have to do the work. You got to figure out what's right for you.
100%. No one can tell you. I can't even tell my client, here's exactly what you need to do. No. That's why I incorporate the energy healing and the Reiki and the psychology work as well, to really help them tune into their inner wisdom, and also have an understanding of foods and what properties that they're bringing in, what elements that they're bringing in and balancing in their bodies. But just wanted to mention that I do feel that more people could benefit from eating less animal products. For the most part, people do eat way too much animal products.
We're overdoing it.
Yeah, so I don't want to say that, but maybe some vegan people, they may be holding themselves back from some of those animal products that may actually benefit them, or maybe not. Maybe they're fine without it. But yeah.
So you said clients. What kind of client work do you do?
So I help people on a weekly basis in my package clients, and it's a series of sessions. Some are over phone or Skype, and others are a retreat or a grocery tour.
A grocery tour?
Yeah.
Slow down, sister. What's a grocery tour?
Yeah. So I take you grocery shopping and actually show you, you know, how to grocery shop and how to find the best products. So I've literally tried everything. I'm at all the health shows sampling everything. And also have, you know, quite a discernment about ingredients and what's pure and what's not. So I found all the best stuff, and I've tasted it. So I really have, you know, I love food. I love good tasting food. Like, that's just my thing, to, you know, find out what tastes good, and make it easy for people, so they don't need to go and, you know, waste their time and money going out and buying everything and then seeing what, you know, not liking stuff. I'm just like, here's all the best things. Let's go.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love people like you, because you're the type of person that is super into what they do, and so they put 10,000 hours into it.
Oh yeah.
And then you, like, refine it so that people who are looking for the same information don't have to put in the same time.
Completely. All the blood, sweat, and tears, and all the experimenting I did, and, you know, learning and doing things wrong and following what one person says as opposed to tuning into my own wisdom. All that, I can make it way easier for people, as opposed to them, you know, going around suburbia. It's like, here, come on the freeway and let's go.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So why are you so, or maybe I should rephrase this. What brought you to this place of being so in tune with health?
I had to learn. I had serious health issues. I was extremely unbalanced and sick and, like, not well at all. So I was on a journey, and I I don't want anyone to go through that. Like I care about people on the planet, and I want to ease their journey and make it more enjoyable.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you say you went through a journey. Is this the reason why you feel that everyone should be focused on creating an actual health program or having an idea about what food they eat? Like is that the reason, or?
It's the foundation of everything. No matter what you're doing in life,
Mm-hmm.
you mean you're living, you need energy and to feel good to do whatever you came here to do.
Yeah.
And the better you feel, the more good you're going to be able to do. So that's really the underlying energy of what I'm doing, is I'm helping people feel good so that they can radiate more love, that they can live their purpose and feel energized and treat others around them with love.
That is so cool. I think that, I had to learn that lesson the hard way, and I'm still learning it. That's why I appreciate people like you, because you remind me just how much the food that we eat is connected to our success, actually.
Yes.
Like, let's just be real. Let's make it practical. Like, a lot of us are not able to be successful because we're not fueling our body. Like, what's in this cookie? Because this is delicious.
Oh yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, this cookie is amazing. So I put wild blueberries, and
Okay.
the energy behind wild blueberries is so amazing because this is from the book by Medical Medium, but he says that Native Americans observed that after a wildfire, this is the only thing that grows back, and it grows back stronger.
No way.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
I know, right? So, and even when you freeze them, they actually get even stronger too, because, it just shows how adaptable they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is frozen wild blueberries, and I added that to the cookie because I love, blueberry muffins, but I also love chocolate chip cookies. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just put
Use
it all
those
together.
together.
Yeah, this was my intention in making this. Was and Selena Moon, we made it together actually, and our intention was to make the best chocolate chip cookie ever, and we went hard. So yeah.
I was gonna say
like each ingredient we checked intuitively, like, okay, 1 cup, no, more, less, more. So each ingredient was checked intuitively. And yeah, so it's got shredded coconut, it's sweetened with Leva Foods date sugar, it's got fresh ground oats. So I took steel cut oats, put them in the Vitamix so they're freshly ground. Because otherwise, sometimes oats, they're sitting there for a while on the shelves and they've lost a lot of nutrition. So it's great to actually grind your flours yourself. Yeah, it's got a little bit of maple syrup, Chaz Organic cinnamon, it's my favorite cinnamon, vanilla, mesquite. Do you know mesquite?
No.
Mesquite's the best thing ever.
What is it?
It's so good. It tastes like almost like a caramelly type thing, but it can be substituted as a gluten-free flour, but it's also a sweetener and superfood at the same time.
Okay.
And it's really healthy, so it's, oh my gosh, I love mesquite. So I was like, that's gotta go in there.
I think what I'll do is tag all of these beautiful ingredients in the comment
Perfect.
below, so people, if they're interested, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the recipe? Well, it was an intuitive recipe, right?
Yeah, no, I wrote it down.
Okay.
This is gold. Like I'm creating. I've already created a lot of recipes, and I'm keep going. Like more creations come all the time.
Oh,
So
what other
I
recipes have you
lots of
created?
recipes. Sweet potato hummus and beet hummus.
Yeah.
I love those ones. Those are really good. It's a classic to have good sauces on hand. Like a good almond butter, ginger lime sauce.
Did you just say butter?
Yeah, I said butter.
Almond butter?
Almond butter.
I'm gonna go to No Frills and be like, yo, where's your almond butter at?
Go to the Big Carrot or farmer's market instead of No Frills.
See,
Because No Frills,
this is
do they
why
really
I
care
love
about people
you,
on the earth? Thank you.
because you're
love you
always
too.
like this is why you gotta be around successful people. Because when you slip up, right, they're there to be like, oh, they grab you and they be like,
Don't go
oh,
No Frills.
Don't go there. Let's go over here.
Yeah.
And that's important. Like,
Yeah.
so where do you shop? Let's run down the list.
Every dollar's a vote. This is something I'm really passionate about because literally it's up to us. Whatever we're voting for is what's going to sustain. If we actually don't give our money to companies that are destroying the planet, they will cease to exist, or they will have to adapt and evolve to match where we're at. That's why I'm so passionate about raising people's vibration and that they choose, good choices that are good for them and the earth. So I shop mostly at farmers markets because that stuff is pure medicine. They pick it, that day or maybe the day before. It's fresh, it's local, it's seasonal. It's actually what we're supposed to be eating at this time. As opposed to, eating pineapple in January in Canada, freezing. Like, that's not really that balancing for you, right? But in this season, there's a lot of greens, and it helps our body with cleansing, and our liver's naturally detoxifying, and like a lot of the foods that are in season right now just happen to be foods that clean our liver. So Mother Earth, she kind of knows what she's doing.
She knows.
But we just sort of need to, flow with that. Yeah. So, farmers markets are huge. I love the Big Carrot as well. It's one of my favorite health food stores. Any good stores where you can just see, you can, check out the produce and get a sense whether it looks fresh and loved. I even find some of those big conventional stores, the produce there, the organic stuff, it doesn't sell that well because their customers, they don't understand organic, so they don't buy it, and then it just sits there. It looks like it was just thrown there. Like there was no love. I feel the vibration of food. Like when I see it, I feel it. So sometimes I'll walk around those stores and I'll leave without even buying anything. I'm like, this is not food.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because when I go to like Dominion and all those places, it's not Dominion anymore, Metro.
Okay, yeah.
Oop, just dated myself. Whoops. When I go to Metro, you can see that there's no transition from the regular produce into the organic other than the label.
Yeah, it looks kind of the same.
It looks almost the same, and it feels the same.
Yeah.
And I know that there's probably a slight difference, but I'm just echoing what you're saying. And I think that, the love, attention, and care isn't going into it. And so it's just not the same. I think where you buy the produce definitely plays into
Definitely.
what it does for your body.
And are those stores actually getting organic because they really genuinely believe in it and they care about people and the planet, or are they just getting it because they hear it's kind of popular and they're trying to sort of keep up but don't really get it?
Well, it's the same thing we were talking about with
the
being vegan. It's like we have built this culture around what's cool, and then people capitalize on it.
Yeah,
right?
there we go. Even some of these juice bars that they don't fully believe it, and they just
definitely not.
So yeah, you got to be in line with what you're doing, and I want to actually support a store that has those values, that I'm actually voting with my dollars for that store.
I love that you vote with your dollars.
Yes.
I feel like we just throw our money around.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the most convenient place to get something? I'll just get it there. But you're saying be intentional with your spending.
Yes.
Especially in regards to food, because the food is going in your body and
everything.
Wow. So can you talk about the transition from how you used to eat your diet and how you felt then and how you feel now versus your new diet?
That's funny. So I was the pickiest kid ever. I wouldn't eat any veggies. Like my mom would try to grind it up into the meat sauce. I'd pick it out.
Wow.
I went in with my fork and I'd pick out all the little veggie pieces. I was that kid.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
Changed a little bit.
You got avocados?
Yeah. No, I didn't eat any of this. So I only ate sugar cereals, pizza, ice cream, chicken fingers, nachos. That's about it.
Classic Canadian food.
Yeah, classic. So, yeah, that was what I ate. And, a lot of alcohol as well was in my diet in high school and university. And eventually my body just broke down. Like it couldn't take it anymore. And even the caffeine, it was like every day I was sort of tricking myself into thinking I had energy by like being exhausted and having a coffee to get myself going. And I wasn't fueling on actual real food or real energy.
Yeah.
So I was just in a cycle of exhaustion. And eventually I just couldn't do it anymore and had some really serious health issues and was forced into learning how to regain my energy and my health back. And at first I was, trying to seek, I wanted, that solution of, I must be just like missing one thing, like which supplement do I need to like finally heal myself, or which, I'd go around those health shows and be like, is this the thing I need to heal? Is this the thing I need to heal? It's like, no, I just needed to actually ground the action steps required to sustain my vibration. Which is why I'm so passionate about morning routines and evening routines and having the right tools on hand, helping people get the right, delicious, high vibe foods into their house, and helping them to create solid routines and structures and flows where they're actually, set up with the foods that they need.
Okay, wow.
It's the action. You get the results from taking the action.
But do you find, and I know that you talk to a lot of people, do you find that, what do you find is the hardest thing for people in transitioning into healthier food choices?
So sometimes like food addictions, or if their family's not on board. But then again, I do offer like family retreats, or like couples have come in together and they're on the journey together. Yeah, so that then they're more supported, because if it's just one of them and then they go home and then their partner's not supportive, their partner is ordering pizza and things and they just give in, it's like
then you're kind of fighting an uphill battle, right? Because your partner is it's very important.
Yeah,
you have to be on the same page in some way, right? Especially like if one of you is cooking dinner and that person is out of alignment, then are you cooking twice?
Right? I need to cook like 5 meals for 5 people. Like, it's good to get everyone on board ideally.
Yeah.
Otherwise, or just really work on your willpower, I guess, and just discernment, because someone beside you might be eating whatever, but they're not force feeding you.
Yeah.
You put it in your mouth, so like it's up to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, and I mean, I guess what you're saying too is just because they have a certain way of eating doesn't mean that you have to eat that way.
Yeah.
You can still get along with them, but then,
sure,
like you're saying, it requires more willpower.
It does.
Because then you're cooking for yourself and you're not being tempted. They're gonna have pizza, there's gonna be wings, all that good stuff, and you have to really tell yourself, am I gonna be able to get through this on a consistent day-to-day basis? Yeah. It's like pretend like somebody is doing, if you're an alcoholic and you're no longer an alcoholic, but somebody's taking a shot or drinking a glass of wine every day.
Wow.
Do you have the willpower to? I think people don't understand. That's the kind of willpower you need. Like, you don't want to be pulled into something that you don't think is going to be healthy for you, right? So it's easier, but sometimes life is life and your partner is not on the same page, but you want to stay with them, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think that love is beautiful, and I think that if you have the willpower, definitely, don't break up because they want to eat a slice of pizza. For
sure. Unconditional love and acceptance. But again, food is vibration. So if you're eating this food, they're eating that food, are you gonna forever be aligned maintaining that? I don't know.
Well, this is a good point. Okay, so I noticed something. My mic is super crispy. I'm gonna just ask you to pull your mic a little bit closer. Perfect.
Is it crispy now?
Say something.
Hey.
Yeah, it's pretty
crispy.
You have a very soft voice, but it's beautiful.
Okay,
so,
thanks.
I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? It was a very, very important question.
Couples together out of vibrational alignment if they...
Yes. Do you feel that couples can stay together if they're vibrating at different levels? Like, what's your feeling intuitively about that?
Yeah, I mean, every case is different. Like, in my case, my boyfriend and I, we eat similar food and he loves it and he's really benefited from it and appreciates it, so it works. For me and how passionate I am about food and my mission to be with someone who, doesn't get it, I don't think that would particularly work for me. Is, living with someone. My family, they're not so completely on board, but I still love them and accept them and, have let it go, and they eat what they eat, I eat what I eat, that's that. And I still, can love them and vibe with them. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I love that. It's such a beautiful response. It really is up to you.
Yeah. But maybe you can inspire them. Like, they see that you're, looking amazing, feeling amazing. They might be like, I want some of that. Yeah. So, like, it's all about embodying it as opposed to telling somebody what to do. Yeah. So it's focused on your own healing and health and vibe, because you can't force somebody to be healthy. If anything, they'll resist even and rebel even more. Yeah. I've experienced that. When I first went to nutrition school and learned about like all this stuff, I was like, oh my god, my family's gonna die. Like, I'm screwed. Like, I was like, go home, like throw out all this stuff in their cupboards, like go hard. And then they didn't like that too much.
I can imagine.
So I've, refined my approach, and now I'm more so like empowering people to do it themselves. It's like, okay, it's up to you, however good you want to feel, however long you want to age or preserve your tempo, like it's totally your call. This is just what I would suggest.
I love that.
Yeah, it's gentle, but
Because no one likes that person, right? Like, you know, you sit down or you're going out to eat and that person's like, oh, is this place vegan or is this place plant-based? And then they give you the look and it's like, man, I just want a pizza right now. So just like be cool.
People don't want to be judged or feel that you're, you know. Yeah. So that was another thing important when I released the vegan attachment.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to feel that if I'm judging them for what they're eating. Or if they slip up, like, that's fine. You know what? Say you don't eat well today. Fine. Maybe you do a meditation tonight. Or you go for a nature walk. You know, there's lots of ways you can raise your vibration and feel good. So even if you know, slip up in one way, you know, there's another thing you can do to make up for it.
Interesting.
Yeah, no pressure. Just love. Enjoy the journey. Like, if a lot of people that come to me, they go for those allergy tests. Then they find out that they can't eat, you know, 200 different foods or something. And then they're like, oh my God, what do I eat? And then they have no joy about or they're just eating like broccoli and salt or something. You're like, they're not. Yeah. So I bring back the joy for them and really help them to come up with creative solutions for the foods that they can eat.
Yeah.
But also those allergy tests, they're not always effective because sometimes it just comes up foods that you've been eating often.
Oh,
yeah, it's not necessarily meaning that you're sensitive or allergic to it. It just literally comes up because maybe you ate it yesterday, so it comes up on the test.
So would you recommend that people do those tests?
No, because they freak out. Well, if you did one of those tests and you're freaking out, come see me because I can help you. A lot of my clients have had that experience, and then they don't get the support that they need from the people they're seeing. They just get this test, they get $800 worth of supplements, they're all stressed out, they don't know what to eat. And there's no joy.
I just realized that those food tests are like the perfect way to push pharmaceutical nutriments, right? Because it's like, oh, you're missing all these things, but guess what? Today's your lucky day. We sell all these things.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know. I could just be assuming. But so you're saying it's probably not the greatest idea to take these tests because you don't get the support in your nutritional journey that is required once you have that information.
Usually everything is emotional, energetic too. So maybe if you have allergies, maybe you're not fully in your power. Maybe your energetic boundaries are weak and you're like not keeping yourself strong energetically or maintaining your field to be strong. Okay. Maybe you're not doing your practices.
So that brings up something interesting. When you're with your clients, at what point or how do you talk about the connection between their energy and the foods that they eat? Like, and when I say energy, I mean like, controlling their energy, being present of their energy, and all that good stuff.
For sure. So I feel people, so I feel sort of where they're at. Most of the people that come to me, they are open on some level to that. Yeah. But I'll dive deeper with certain people than others, just because I feel, what does this person need and what are they ready for right now? But definitely it's everything. And even you could eat the healthiest food in the world, but if you're scarfing it down and then running out the door, are you even going to digest it or take it in?
Wow, I never even thought about that. Like for me, I just figured once it's in the body, you don't have to really worry about it. You
want to, bless it, eat mindfully, make love to it, be present with it, and then give yourself, a few minutes to sit after the meal and just digest it. Yeah, not just be running off because you don't have no space. Another thing that I find is a big thing is trauma. Some people, women in particular, or both, they may have trauma that they're holding in that lower body, maybe sexual trauma, or maybe they were like abused or raped and their body's kind of screaming out to them, or they're not fully grounded in their body, and that's why they have stomach issues. So there's different cases of things like that we can, help to release with the energy work or bringing in flower essences, like different things to help to release that. Journaling practices, like keeping your energy clear so that when you do take in your food, like you're a clear channel and you can receive it. Because if you're all blocked up with energies and emotions, you could eat the healthiest thing in the world but not digest it properly.
That is so interesting. So how often are you dealing with people that have issues that are purely energetic?
It's pretty much everything.
Really?
It's the underlying root. It's the physical manifests from the emotional energetic. So that it all goes hand in hand. But again, I'm not saying do perfect energy work, but go eat at McDonald's. You know, like everything.
Somebody took that. They were like, perfect.
Like,
I'm gonna meditate and I'm gonna hit the BK up today.
Oh, you know, you do everything that you can to nourish your body, but tuning in, because sometimes your digestion may be stronger than others, right? Some days you might just feel like fasting and just giving your body a break. So tuning into that. Sometimes you need something a bit more heartier and more protein and more satisfying. Other times you may do well with something light. So you have to sort of tune into that. Or even say if you're at a restaurant and you're looking at a menu, how I like to describe intuitive eating is actually like reading the ingredients in that thing. You can do this when you're grocery shopping as well, and feeling like, how would I feel if I ate that? Or like, what vibration or sound would this thing make? Is it a or is it a
So that's a very intuitive thing. So would you recommend this for people who are very practical, or for everyone, or for people who are spiritually inclined? Or
So spiritually inclined people for sure could tap into it easier maybe, but it's kind of obvious. Like, think about, say a burger, or like a steak and bread and potatoes. And meat and potatoes, by the way, not a good digestive combination. If you're gonna have meat, have lots of greens or like a salad with it to get enzymes to actually digest the steak, because the steak don't have enzymes. So you always want to have some good food combinations as well. That's important as well. But yeah, it's kind of obvious. Like, how do you think you're gonna feel after eating something super heavy, has like gluten and meat and dairy and blah, versus if you eat maybe like a light, vibrant salad? And I'm saying that for contrast,
Oh, of course,
salad. I'm not saying eat salads all the time, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of obvious. It's not rocket science.
So it's just about finding a balance.
Yeah,
between the two.
And you'll get more tuned into it. Like, I'm at the point where when I read an ingredients list or read a menu, like, I see the words vibrating out. Like, I see the energy behind the words. I didn't always have that, but it's because I've cultivated it. So you can cultivate it as well. That's
very interesting. So tell us more about that. How does it work? Like, you'll be walking and you'll see a store, or you'll be in a store and you'll see a food, or how does it work?
So I see the fruits and vegetables. I see them like vibrating out. Like, I can see kind of what the energy is behind them, or what their journey was like, or how they've been treated.
So you're walking through Metro, right? You see this watermelon and you're like, okay, that watermelon is on my vibe. Is that what happens?
Yeah, like I feel it. Or if it's kind of obvious too. Like, you can tell if a produce looks kind of sad if it's sitting there like, meh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they've been abused and thrown around, and like it just doesn't. It just doesn't look the same.
You're right. I really felt it actually when I went to the store called Feed It Forward.
I love them.
Yeah. Oh my God, great people. So they have this grocery store. It's by donation, and this food, the vibration of that food is so special, because that was, say an apple that almost went to the landfill, yet it's actually going to be eaten, and that place has got so much love, and it's all run by volunteers and everything, and there's just something really special about it. So the food there, even though no, it's not fresh picked, the vibration of it is really actually beautiful. Like, it's vibrating like a gratitude, because that food wants to be enjoyed. It doesn't want to end up in the landfill.
You know what's funny? I think that this sometimes gets put into like a fringe section, because when we talk about vibration and we talk about food, right? It's not common sense. It's not commonplace. But I like to remind people about, there was a test that the scientists did with how water reacts to intentions, just people speaking intentions into water. And then he actually scientifically monitored the water over time under a microscope, and without adding anything else, without any other influences on the water was changing in congruence with the energy that was being sent to it. So it's like when you understand that your thoughts, your feelings and emotion, your vibration can affect your food, it's like practically, like this is a real thing, tangibly, then you will start to understand what you're saying, which is, the intention and the vibration behind how the food is stored, prepared, and put out for sale goes into just how much the food is vibrating positively. And that affects you when you eat it, of course.
Completely. As does blessing it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can amplify all the goodness in
That's
it.
what a prayer and a blessing is. It's an intention and it's a vibration, right? That you're projecting.
Definitely.
But I don't think that we as a community speak about this enough.
Yeah.
Like, people think of prayer and they think of, it's just kind of like wishful thinking. But that's because we haven't tapped into our own power and understood.
Intention is everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Emoto's work. 'Cause it's really important.
That's his name,
Yeah, and they've even done experiments on apples where...
No way.
Yeah! Where they'll show they'll cut apples and then they'll say, I love you in one, I hate you in another. And then it literally, you see the difference. One apple's all brown and like nasty and one like actually maintained itself and looks fresh after 2 weeks.
So, fun fact, I love what you said there because you just reminded me of something. I actually did that test like 5 or 6 years ago.
Amazing.
Because when I see things like that, I'm like, okay, if that's real and it's easy to do, I'm like, let me just try it. I'm like, for me, I don't want to get or have that understanding based on what somebody else told me. So I actually did it with rice.
Love it.
2 cups of rice in the water.
Yeah.
One good, one bad. And I remember it so clearly because I think it was the 2 week mark.
Okay.
I walked into my room and I was like, what the hell is that smell? Like something was like kicking. I'm like, okay, I did my laundry and I'm like, it's still here. Then I remembered. I opened my dresser drawer, whatever it's called. And the one that I was sending negative energy at was growing like green, like a growth.
This is really funny.
Why?
I don't know. I love it.
And I was like shocked because it just happened like almost overnight. And then the one that I was sending good energy to was at least visibly unaffected.
Wow.
So I'm sure if we could zoom in, we would see that it's probably in a much better state. But I was like, once something like that happens, you see it and it's real for you.
With you.
You're like, okay, this is real.
That's amazing.
Energy is a real thing.
Wow. You know what else is interesting? That they've taken that experiment to the next level and added a third.
Yeah. That
they don't give anything to.
Yeah.
And that one ends up being the worst. The one that gets no attention or nothing.
Get out of here.
That one's the worst. Isn't that so interesting?
It is.
So the fact, if you're just going about things and not setting an intention, not infusing your food with anything, you're almost like worse off.
Yeah, well, if you're not growing, you're dying, right?
Yeah,
that's
put something good into it. Like, you're gonna eat it anyways. It only takes a second.
Right, it takes
not that hard. Like, you don't need to be a professional shaman to do it.
Yeah.
Say thank you, I love you, I'm so grateful, and really, yay.
Yeah, most people think that you gotta like do like a 10-minute prayer.
Yeah.
And, meditation. Yeah.
Like, chill out. Just put your hand over it and like send it some love.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's a process. Not everybody is open and willing to be in that space right now, but you plant seeds and then hope that people
one day, and if not, whatever, that's fine. I mean, it's a benefit. It's like you're missing out if you're not doing it. I mean, I love you and care about you and hope you do it, but like, if you don't want to do it, fine, don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have like a group of friends that also support you in this journey, like are on the same journey, or do you find that the people in your immediate circle are doing their own thing?
So they appreciate the energy and things that I bring and get inspired, and when they come here and make them food, they get ideas and inspiration, and we help each other, and I think we all have gifts that we can help and share with one another, and that is one of my gifts, is food and cooking and recipes. So that's a way that I can support my friends, and they support me in other ways.
Beautiful. I love that. So you're the community chef. People come here for that good food, the soul food. Well, it's Soul Feast Katie, right? Is the brand?
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. How did you come up with that name, Soul Feast Katie? Soul Feast.
Yeah.
It's not just like a bite. It's not a nibble. It's a feast.
It's a feast for your soul. Yeah, because it's more than just about the food. It's also about the energy and the emotions. Yeah, and when I was registering my business at first, I wasn't sure whether I was going to do Soul Feast or Soul Feast Katie. And I was kind of torn between the two. And my business coach, she told me that she felt that I should do Soul Feast Katie.
Yeah.
But I was a bit scared too, because I'm like, I don't want to, brand myself. Then people are going to think that I'm like, trying to have all the attention on me. And I'm like, this is, bigger than me. This is like a bigger vision. So maybe Soul Feast. Anyway, so I tried registering both of them. Guess what? Only one went through, and it was Soul Feast Katie.
And you know what? I think it's very admirable for people who are humble enough to say, I don't want to make this about me. But at the end of the day, you're our connection to this beautiful, the world, right? Yeah,
like people are coming here to my house for retreats, and I'm doing sessions with them, and
because of you.
Yeah, so it is right now. That's what it is.
And you know why I would prefer, like, this is just my opinion. I think putting Katie in there is cool because when people associate with it, right? It's cool for us to associate with you because it's holistic, it's food, it's a vibe, versus it being its own thing and then you being a part of it, because you're really connecting with people on a person-to-person basis. And it's not like if you were selling apparel, like if you were Nike, it'd be okay, because Nike is just like a thing. It's like Nike.
True.
But like when you're connecting with a person, you're going to retreat. Sophie's like, when you put the name in, it's just it's a connection. I like it.
It makes sense now. I'm like, okay, I'm glad that worked out as it did.
Yeah.
Technology's funny. Technology has a consciousness, like
100%.
When it goes out, like
it's an extension of us, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's no way you could not have Sophie's Katie, because that's what was meant for you to have.
It was totally. And when everything's aligned, it flourishes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I can't imagine what it would be like if it was just Soul Feast.
I know. What is just Soul Feast?
Soul Feast.
Katie. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like it'd be like misdirect people. Like, what's a Soul Feast?
Yeah. So it feels good. I feel that I'm in the space that I feel really clear with what I'm doing, and I see its effects on people, and it's really, I see them grounding and taking the work and getting brighter and getting results, and feel like I've been, I just feel in a really good flow with what I'm doing. That's a
good word, flow. Do you feel like people are receiving this information and lifestyle, or is it a bit of a push for you?
I work with people where they're at. So sometimes I find people, they're not as ready to implement the action steps if they need healing first. Some people are all about action, and every session they're like, I implemented like 20 different things since last session. I'm like, oh my god. And then other people, they're still healing, and they are implementing. Like each person that I'm working with, they are implementing, and I get them to implement the steps that they actually want to implement, that they feel to implement. It's like I'm holding a space for them and like encouraging and supporting them. I'm not doing all the work for them, because that's that's not what it is. It's they have to find their own internal power. But some people I feel out, and I may even adjust their packages and focus more on the healing first.
Yes.
And then get them implementing the actions, because alignment first.
Well, that's what a good leader does, right? They don't tell you where to go. They give you a map and say, you know where to go. These are the roads that lead there. For sure. So take whichever one you like.
But also making it easy for them. Like I'm not just
of course,
throwing them a thing.
Like, here's your backpack, get out.
No, like I'm actually nurturing them through that process. That's why we connect for weekly sessions. I find that's better. I used to do bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks, but weekly it's much better.
Yeah, people need that constant, because we live in such a fast-paced world. 2 weeks, it's like,
it's a long time. It could be like 2 years.
It's
like
they're forgetting, right? Even like remember when we used to go to school, and it's like as soon as you left school for summer vacation, like the first 2 weeks, everything you learned is gone. It's gone. That's funny you said. And then 2 weeks before school, you have to refresh, or you're going in, and it's like you forget everything, right?
So true.
So I can see how the weekly works better for your clients. So do you have a system where your clients can give you feedback, like positive and negative feedback?
For sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I check in with them at the beginning of the session, and they share like how things are going, what questions they have, what they've been implementing, and we celebrate it.
Oh, that's
Those are
so
things
cool.
to celebrate. Like they love sharing it, and we love celebrating it together. Like I'm like so happy to hear when they, got rid of their fake plants and brought in some fresh plants, or like
Fake plants.
yeah, or
They're
like
like my what's that word? They're like my arch nemesis. Plants.
yeah.
But anyways, I'm sorry I cut you off there.
No worries. I know, yeah, me too. It's like if you're gonna get a plant, you may as well, receive a benefit from it. Because in feng shui, it's bad energy, right, to have a fake plant. So these are all things as well. Creating a sacred space. I love, creating my home to be a beautiful space. And now I'm in this upgraded home. This is your first time in the new home, and yeah, it feels so good.
I just realized most people don't know, but you just
No.
moved into this gorgeous space.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening and watching, Katie, it's definitely an upgrade for her. It's incredible, this space. It's beautiful. It's very spacious, and I think it's more of a representation of your energy
For sure.
and where you're at in your life right now. So, congratulations on the new space. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Everywhere you look, it's modern, but it's also holistic, and I like that combination.
Yeah. Very well described, Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so good here.
So are you
Yeah.
just not going to eat that cookie, or it's just going to sit
I
there?
mean-
No, I mean, I'm not saying that I want the cookie.
Okay, yeah,
I'm just
there's
saying.
more. We can have more after. Yeah, I should, take it in.
I want the people watching and listening to be super jealous of how delicious these cookies are, and then reach out to you and be like, I want some of those cookies. But you created it. You co-created it with Selena Moon. You think you could do them on your own? Would they be the same?
She was getting me in the vibe of doing it, and I'm gonna, continue. But it was perfect. That was exactly what it was meant to be at that time, and we both learned a lot in the process. It was really good.
Beautiful.
We made a banana bread too.
Oh.
It's got pumpkin spice in it.
I missed that.
And it's got
Where's the
tahini in
banana
it.
bread? Does she have any still?
We have it here.
Oh, okay,
We
beautiful.
can have it after, yeah.
Suckers.
No,
just
don't
kidding.
worry, guys. Just come over and you get some. It's all good.
Yeah, she's here. She's in the community. If you're in Toronto, just reach out. You don't have to miss out on these incredible cookies and banana bread. It's banana bread. So
That was
Beautiful.
missing from my life, the baking. And when I was, super spiritual and up there, I was like, recipes, what? But I realized people, they actually, they do need some recipes.
yeah.
But again, I like to empower people to cook intuitively as well, and to maybe have some good sauces on hand so they can put quick things together. But it is good to have some solid recipes, especially when it comes to baking, because it is, a science.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really grateful that I've been cultivating like the best recipes ever.
Yeah.
So exciting, yeah.
Thank you for grounding it. I think it's
Yeah.
very, very easy to get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, true.
See what I did there?
Okay.
Because it's like, intuitive is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Some of us have are really connected to our intuition, and it's good to ground it so that, because it's nice, you can pass on those recipes,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. And live on after I die. People can be eating these chocolate blueberry cookies.
I shouldn't be the only one enjoying these cookies.
Yeah, exactly. And then it goes further, and yeah.
Yeah.
Because it pisses me off when I see these stupid recipes online that
Oh.
have crap in them, and I'm like, why would somebody take the time to make this, put it up, pay for ads for it to get out there or something? And it's like, it's harming people. Or
So I have the funny story about that. Maybe it's for the best that I can't remember the exact organization. I think
otherwise, I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah. what's the body that governs health and
Canada, Health Canada.
I think it's in the States.
Oh, okay.
I think it's in the States. Well, whatever their governing body is for food.
Yeah.
At some time years ago, they had put out a study that said bacon and certain red meats are carcinogens.
Yeah.
And but on their very website, they had recipes that included bacon and meat. So people were like, why would you put that study
my
out
God.
and then have recipes with that very thing in it?
There's so few recipes that are actually good.
So it's like, I totally get you.
Yeah.
Like, it's become a fad, right? To
Yeah.
recipes. They just throw things together and there's no intention in love. And this is why I'm saying we need recipes like this.
Yeah,
because
that tastes good.
You actually love what you do, and you put that into the recipe, so people who are recreating that will probably, taste and feel a bit of that love.
For sure. Yeah, it gets passed on the energy.
Yeah, I think so, a little
right.
bit.
For sure. It goes with everything we're talking about, right? Like I created it with intention. And
so I want to go into these cards because we have a few minutes left, and then I have another question to ask you before we wrap up. So before we got on this podcast, Katie has a really cool card deck, and it's just about flowers and what those flowers represent, and we pulled 2 before we got on the podcast. So I guess, should I go through mine first?
Just a quick, you'll go through yours first, but just a quick update on the cards. So these are flower essences. So each flower, and you can, get a deck of cards, or you can actually even take internally, like the flower essences, they sell them at health food stores.
Okay.
And basically each flower has a certain energy or vibration that it's helping us to, get to our next level of evolution, or, expand our emotions or mental capacity, personality, things that might be blocked, to open up and expand them.
Beautiful.
So basically the intention, we drew the cards and we said, what message or energy do we need to hear for this podcast to be, epic and benefit all the people tuning in? Like, what energy do we need to bring in? And Jordan drew, actually, 2 cards fell out, and they were just, one was perfect for him and one was perfect for me. So I'll allow you to share yours.
Well, it was interesting because when both cards fell out, usually when that happens to me, like if I am shuffling a deck of cards and 2 fall out, I'll look at the one that fell more intentionally. So if one is face down, one's face up, I usually just take one.
Okay.
So when you took both, I was like, okay, cool. And then you placed them strategically. So you put one to the left, one to the right, and the one that you put to the right was closer to me, and I was like, well, that's the one that I was resonating with. And the one to the left was the one you were resonating with.
Amazing.
So it was really cool. So my card, it's called Harbel. For those watching, you'll be able to see what the flower looks like. Is it Harbel or Hairbell?
Hairbell.
Hairbell. Yeah, that makes more sense. It's Harebell. And I'll show you the other side as well. It's pretty cool. So Harbel is all about it's all about the heart, independence, integrity, love, perseverance, and safety. So I guess I should probably go into why this.
Yeah, what does it mean to you? I'm so curious.
It's funny because when you said put your intention into the cards as we were pulling the cards, right? You put it close to my heart, and I kind of opened my heart space so that the energy could go into the cards. So I'm not surprised that it says heart there. Independence and integrity. Integrity, like if I could pick one word that describes everything that I am about and everything that I strive to do, integrity would be the word.
Wow, perfect.
Like, it's the one word. Like I'm not really one to, have things. Like, I'm a minimalist, but integrity is such a beautiful word, and I love it. And then there's love, of course. I mean, love is love. We all want love. We all need love. We all give love, and we all receive love. It's what makes life happen. So when I see love here, it's not surprising at all. Perseverance and safety. I like perseverance. I think it really talks or speaks to just how much I've gone through in terms of being tested spiritually, physically, emotionally, and we all have, right? I feel like you can resonate with that too. And you gotta persevere.
For sure.
Or, you'll break down. And I think a lot of people find themselves in that situation where they let life overcome them. And if that's you, just connect with Sophie's Katie, get some good food in you, and persevere.
Your energy feels strong.
Yeah.
So that you just whatever can reflect off of you, and you're not affected.
Exactly. And it's funny that you say that, because I think that that's an interesting concept of like, and everybody looks at it differently. Energy. When I think about negative energy coming in, coming at me, I think that it's useful to have that perspective. You know, it comes in and it gets reflected, right? What I've come to adopt, though, is the perspective of any negative energy coming at me, I'm learning how to integrate it, which is more like using its momentum in a way that's beneficial for me.
Transmuting it into like a workout or something. Or or really, maybe it is something you needed to feel and experience and go through and, you know, release it. Or it's bringing up some old stuff. Exactly. For sure. It's not just that I'm, you know, sitting here in my rainbow cloud all day. And like, for sure. But I do like to, you know, keep my energy field strong so that I'm less kind of knocked over by things in life, because I just feel good and feel balanced.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
And then there's safety. I think safety is what it is. Everyone wants to feel safe and provide safety, especially as a man. You want to provide safety. You know, so beautiful. Yeah, that's my card. Affirmations. There's an affirmation section on the card that reads, "I look within to find the love that I seek. As I open my heart to others, unconditional love flows through me." So that's pretty cool.
Love it.
That is Hairbell, people. So go ahead, let us know, Katie, what card you got and what it means for you and how it's resonating in your life right now.
So I got pineapple weed, and the keywords here, and as I say these words, you can just breathe it into your heart. Connection, grace, harmony, mothering, newborn, safe, and synchronized. And I feel this is a big part of what I do, because really I'm connecting people with the Mother Earth, and being a good mother for yourself, right? You know, feeding your body, nurturing foods, like really nurturing yourself so that you can live in harmony with yourself, with others, with the earth. So that really resonates. The affirmation is, I greet the earth with each step that I take. I walk through this life with balance and poise. And yeah, grounding is huge. Definitely, I'm a lot more grounded now than I was a few years ago, and I just feel really grateful. I feel a lot more safe in my body now. And I'm actually doing work and doing the things that I want to do. Whereas before, you know, I had lots of passion and inspiration and insights, but I wasn't able to actually ground it and do it. And I just feel so grateful now that I feel good and grounded and I'm doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, when I walked in, I didn't say it because it was kind of in the background of my emotional field. But he seemed very grounded. He seemed very, at least a lot more grounded than, you know, previous years, like you were saying. So I can definitely second that.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels good. Connecting with nature and, you know, releasing things that were ungrounding me.
Are you open to share one of those things?
I mean, personally, weed. Really? I released weed from my life, and I'm really grateful. Yeah, it was something that I relied on for a long time. It was kind of like my crutch or security blanket to bliss. Yeah. And I was, you know, relying on that instead of. But now I'm really doing the work of whatever comes up. I'm actually, you know, dealing with it head on.
Meeting it.
Yeah, like I'm not escaping from things. I'm actually, you know, living it and doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm grounding what I want to do. So I'm really grateful. It was like about 10 years of smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
So it was big for me.
It's so funny because I used to smoke a lot of weed as well, and it's like I can second that. For me, I was like in like a, I don't know, 2-3 years of just days, like smoking every single day. Like I think you have to do things in proportion. Yeah. In moderation. Sorry. You know. Yeah. So would you ever smoke again, or is it something that you just completely cold turkeyed?
I mean, there was part of me that was wondering, like, am I so against it now that I'm almost judging it, or like have, you know, reaction towards it, like I have like a charged emotions about it. So I did actually smoke it just to release my judgment about it, and to also just see that I can trust myself to not go back into that, because it was very addicting for me. Like I love getting high and blissing out and, you know, coming up with a bunch of creative ideas. Not that I was able to do any of them, but like literally I had so many ideas, and it was just notebooks full of stuff, but I wasn't actually really, you know, grounding anything. So so I did it, but I'm glad that I did it because I was able to see that I'm so grounded now that it just, I don't want it.
It can't shake you anymore.
So I'm grateful for that it helped me to like fully release it in a way. It's just not for me. Meditate. I want to do more meditation and breath work, nature, workouts, qigong, tai chi, tantra, like that's
natural.
Those are my drugs that I want to more organically evolving. And
do you know what's funny? I have to bring this up before we get out of here.
Please.
Your card says pineapple weed, and I was immediately thinking like a pineapple grade of
like they used
weed.
to have stuff like that, like Pineapple Express or something.
Whatever. So I just thought that your story was super
I guess we were meant to bring
ironic. The universe, I tell you, has so much humor.
So true.
Okay, so 2 things before we leave. First, I just want you to tell people where they can connect with you. And then I'll ask my final question.
So if this resonated with you, definitely send me a message. I'll love to get to know you and what your intentions and goals are and how I can support you with that. So you can message me on Facebook. My website is soulfeastkatie.com, SOULFEAST Katie.com. And we can go from there.
Beautiful.
Okay,
so I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to keep it as practical as possible. Pretend like you're talking to a child. In your response. So when you think about infinity, how do you experience it? What comes to mind? And
just the word infinity?
Infinity.
So there are infinite possibilities in life, and it's up to you what you choose and what you put your heart and energy into, and whatever you put into is going to flow and flourish. So do it with love and intention, and pick the right thing you want to focus on, because that's what's going to grow.
I love it. Thank you so much, Katie.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share and for asking all the right questions to bring out whatever we talked about today.
Whatever it is.
Whatever just happened made that.
It's funny because Katie before the podcast was like, is there anything that you want to specifically talk about? And I'm like, I don't know. I just challenge. Wow. I channel these conversations all the time, so I never really prepare.
And it flowed.
It flowed. You were great. Thank you so much for blessing this brand.
Thank you so much.
For all of you listening and watching, thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you. Love you. Do the social media thing. Click, share, repost, hit the notification, because there's going to be more goodness consistently. And have a beautiful day. Cheers. Bye.